Chapter 31 Xianwu Continent, 3 Forbidden Areas. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The Great Zhou Dynasty. At this time, several streams of light flashed through the void, speeding towards the immortal burial mountain range. If anyone saw this scene, they would definitely be shocked and shout, "Someone who is not afraid of death dares to break into the burial immortal mountain range." There are 3 forbidden areas on the Xianwu continent: the Immortal Burial Mountain Range in the southern wasteland, the Demon God Mountain in the Demon Realm, and the Immortal God River in the Eastern Heaven region. Except for the Immortal Burial Mountain Range, which is the calmest of these 3 forbidden areas, almost no monks dare to enter the other 2. Demon God Mountain is the holy land of the Demon Clan. It is rumored that countless powerful people from the Demon Clan are buried there. It is impossible for human monks to enter the Demon God Mountain. I am afraid that they will be surrounded and killed by the Demon Clan as soon as they arrive in the Demon Domain. The Immortal River is said to have existed before the ancient times. It is full of desolation and death, and there is no life. It is said that human beings entered it 100,000 years ago. As a result, in less than a moment, the people outside the river were hearing the heartrending screams. The powerful man never came out after that. Now, whenever the immortal Kamikawa is mentioned, it can make countless people's hair stand on end. As for the Burial Immortal Mountain Range, it can be said to be an alternative among the 3 forbidden areas. Unlike the Immortal River, it does not have any vitality. Instead, it is full of vitality, with towering trees growing everywhere and beautiful scenery. But it is such a paradise-like place that is the most terrifying and mysterious among the 3 forbidden areas in Xianwu continent, because ancient books record that the emperors from the mythical age appeared inexplicably in the Burial Immortal Mountains one day, and were then taken away by a mysterious force. Some people believe that those emperors were led to the upper world by the mysterious force in the Forbidden Land. Some people also believe that there is a great terror deep in the Immortal Burial Mountain Range. Anyway, there are various theories. Burial Immortal Mountain Range. Under the Kunlun Zone Mountain Gate, several streaks of light fell quickly, causing the birds in the mountains to scream. It was the people of Chen who came back from the Great Qin Dynasty. Here it is. Bury Immortal Mountain Range. Qin Zhan sensed his surroundings and was immediately shocked, looking at Chen. His eyes did not dare to look at the passage. Sect Master, my Kunlun sect is in the Immortal Burial Mountain Range. Yes, my Kunlun sect is here. When Chen heard what he said, he smiled and didn't care about his reaction. After all, this was a forbidden area. Anyone from the Xianwu continent would probably have the same reaction as him. Seeing Qin Zhan's expression, Xuanhuan also smiled. Within the sect, Chen asked Xuanhuan to take Qin Ruoxian to the sect to familiarize himself with the environment. After all, many sect buildings were not completed successfully. As for Qin Zhan and Xuanhuan, they went to the ancestors of the Zhou dynasty to discuss the merger of the dynasties. These Chen also followed them, and the stronger the affiliated forces of Kunlun sect, the louder Kunlun's name became. Chen returned to the main hall. He wanted to plan the development of Kunlun on a main peak. Xuanhuan, I want to walk around the sect by myself, and you don't need to take me to understand. Qin Ruoxian's beautiful face showed a slight smile and whispered to Xuanhuan. Okay, Ruoxian, then I'm going to practice. Xuanhuan looked a little disappointed. She originally wanted to know more about why her junior sister was able to achieve breakthroughs in cultivation so quickly, but she was also very happy. She had a great conversation with Qin Ruoxian just now, and the 2 of them were not called junior sisters or junior sisters, they were like a pair of sisters. After Xuanhuan left, Qin Ruoxian took a closer look at the Kunlun sect, and his expression suddenly changed. How is that possible? The spiritual energy here is actually the fairy spiritual energy from the upper world. As soon as she entered the Kunlun sect, she felt something was wrong here, so she pushed Xuanhuan away to investigate. Unexpectedly, it shocked her. People from the Xianwu continent might think that the aura here was just strong, but it was different for her who was reborn from the upper world. She is sure to practice here, and I am afraid that it will not be long before she can recover her cultivation. Qin Ruoxian is now even more shocked and frightened by the mystery of Kunlun sect. She couldn't imagine who could have such means to draw the spiritual energy from the upper world to the lower world. Maybe this is my opportunity to enter a mysterious sect in the lower realm. That a light flashed in Chen Ruoxian's eyes, as if he had made some decision in his heart. Other side, on Disciple Peak, Lin Yun didn't practice cultivation either, and his eyes seemed to be looking into the distance with melancholy, although Lin Yun usually only laughs and laughs, don't think too much. But since the Dozhan Holy Physique was completely awakened, and with the help of the Dozhan Holy Dharma, his cultivation has now broken through to the Dao Palace realm, it is worthy of the holy body of fighting. As for Lingshua's practice of Lu Shenfa, her cultivation has also improved rapidly, and she has also broken through the Dao Palace realm. Just when Lin Yun was about to write a poem, a voice came and made his melancholy eyes disappear instantly. "Elder brother, you are lazy again," Lingxue said angrily. Originally she wanted to go back to practice, but unexpectedly she saw Lin Yun in a daze. She knew that Lu Chen had high expectations for the two of them, so she had been practicing very hard. As for Lin Yun, she was usually driven to practice like this. After all, Lin Yun only knows everything. Lingxue saw Lin Yun staring at her blankly, not replying but pretending to be slightly angry with her pretty face. "I told the sect master to go." As he said that, he turned around and walked away. Junior sister, just now, senior brother was comprehending the holy method of fighting, so he was distracted. When Lin Yun heard the word master, he reacted instantly and quickly grabbed Ling Shui. Lin Yun was very scared of Lu Chen. If Lu Chen knew that he was lazy again, he would really hang him up and beat him. Thinking of this, Lin Yun couldn't help but shudder. Ah! Comprehension of the technique. Sorry, senior brother. I didn't know you were comprehending the technique. It's all my fault that I interrupted your comprehension. When Ling Shui heard that Lin Yun was comprehending the technique, her pretty face was full of regret. "It's okay, junior sister, I have already practiced the fighting sacred method to the second level." Lin Yun said seriously, TSK. "It's you." Ling Shui still believed in her senior brother's words, so she chose to believe whatever Lin Yun said. If it were Chen Ruoxian, she would probably go straight to the big competition. "Really? Senior brother, you are so awesome." Ling Shui was also very happy to hear what Lin Yun said. "Junior sister, I won't let the master down," Lin Yun said with a serious face and firm eyes. Although Lin Yun's heart is not usually on cultivation, once he gets serious, his cultivation will definitely be far beyond the current level. Of course, this is only a matter of time, but it is definitely not at this moment. "Junior sister, it seems that we haven't discussed the exercises together for a long time." Lin Yun looked at Ling Shui's pretty face and smiled. "Brother, is it the fighting sacred method?" Hearing Lin Yun's words, Ling Shui was confused, because Lin Yun had told her about the power of the holy fighting method before. That's why she didn't believe it when Lin Yun said he had cultivated to the second level. At this time, Lin Yun took Ling Shui's hand, and two red clouds appeared on Ling Shui's beautiful cheeks in an instant. In addition, she was wearing a snow-white dress today, and Ling Shui was very beautiful at this moment. Lin Yun was stunned. "Master! Senior brother, you!" At this time, Ling Shui's pretty face was like a ripe peach, making people want to take a bite. At this moment, she seemed to understand something. Of course, it was meditation and cultivation. Chapter 32 Eastern Sky Region, 9 Nether Dynasty. You are listening at novelfull.audio. At the same time, the royal palace of the great Zhou dynasty, in a large hall, Qin Zhan and Luo Wushuang, the ancestors of the great Zhou dynasty, are discussing the dynasty and merger. Okay, since Senior Luo has agreed, I will return to Daqin now. In 3 days, Daqin and Dazhou will officially merge and create a new dynasty. Qin Zhan was very happy to see that the merger had been settled. That's right. We are all affiliated forces of the Kunlun sect now, and we should unite together. Grand Ancestor Zhou smiled. By the way, the name of the new dynasty should be decided by the sect leader. Luo Wushuang saw this and quickly spoke out, because it is a subordinate force, of course it must ask for the approval of the main sect. Lu Chen has agreed to their merger, but it is up to Lu Chen to decide on the name of the dynasty. The two people also reacted, and their expressions changed slightly. This was indeed the case, and they almost made a serious mistake. Yes, Brother Luo, I will go with you to see the sect leader. Okay, let's go. Kunlun main hall, Lu Chen sat on the main seat, looked at the two people below, and said slowly. Well, now that you have decided, let me name your new dynasty. Lu Chen didn't pay too much attention to this aspect, after all, his sect hadn't started yet. Hear the words, Qin Zhan and Luo Wuxuan looked excited and said respectfully to Lu Chen at the same time. Please give the sect leader a name for the new dynasty. To be honest, Lu Chen didn't know what to name him, but he came from Blue Star, how much I still miss Blue Star. Just call it Kyushu Dynasty. Lu Chen looked at the two of them and said, when the two heard the word Jiuyou, they couldn't help but look at each other and immediately said respectfully to Lu Chen. Thank you, Sect Master. After looking at the two of them, Lu Chen said calmly. Well, if you have nothing else to do, let's get started. Yes, Sect Master. Eastern Xianwu, Jiuyou Dynasty. The Jiuyou Dynasty is the top power in the eastern region, and there are powerful people in the dynasty who are in the realm of heavenly kings. Compared with this, the various dynasties in the southern wasteland are not on the same level at all. At this time, in the Jiuyou Palace, in a magnificent hall, sitting on the main seat was a middle-aged man with a domineering aura, exuding astonishing pressure at all times. The Jiuyou ministers in the main hall looked at the middle-aged man above with fear in their eyes. Southern Wasteland, Qingzhou Kunlun Sect. The middle-aged man was the leader of the 9 Nether dynasty, Yoli. He looked at the man in armor below with cold eyes. Yes, Lord, Commander Wu died at the hands of the Kunlun sect. The man in armor below was so frightened by Yoli's terrifying aura that he trembled all over. Commander Wu in his mouth was the man in golden armor who was killed by Chen Beixian. Kunlun sect. What kind of unconventional sect is this? It dares to kill people from my Jiuyou dynasty. A man in a brocade uniform from below stood up with an astonishing aura, looked at the man in armor, and said angrily. The armored man was immediately frightened by this momentum and broke out in cold sweat, and said quickly. My lord, I heard from people in the southern wasteland that the Kunlun sect seems to be a hidden sect. What nonsense, what kind of hidden sect? Hear the words, the prince shouted angrily. Then, he said respectfully to Yoli. The king, let me go to the southern wilderness territory, destroy the Kunlun sect directly, and then get the ancient token back. Hear the words, Yoli narrowed his eyes slightly but did not speak, not knowing what he was thinking. He thought it was the Jun family in the southern wilderness region who took action. After all, apart from those forces in the southern wilderness region, the Jiuyou dynasty was not afraid of other forces. Even the Jun family is still lagging behind compared to his Jiuyou dynasty. Moreover, this Kunlun sect actually has a strong man who is half a step above the heavenly king realm. Although the Jiuyou dynasty is in the eastern heaven territory, Yoli is very aware of the forces in the southern wilderness territory. He had never heard of the Kunlun sect's power, otherwise, he would not have sent the golden armored man to the southern wilderness territory. Li Mu, you go to the ancestral land to wake up a clan elder and tell him that the ancient secret realm is about to be born. I believe the clan elder will take action. Li Yu looked at the prince with cold eyes and said, just in case, he planned to let a dynasty's heritage take action. Hear this, the prince and the ministers in the hall couldn't help but trembled, and they couldn't help being shocked. They didn't expect that the leader of the country would ask an elder to take action for the ancient token. The prince reacted quickly, said respectfully to Leo, and then exited the hall. Obviously, there are many immortals in this Jiuyou dynasty. Yes, Lord. 3 days later, news of the merger between the Great Qin dynasty and the Great Zhou dynasty spread throughout the southern wasteland, attracting the attention of countless people. Have you heard that the two dynasties of Qingzhou, the Qin dynasty and the Zhou dynasty, merged? What? Impossible. The Qin dynasty is the overlord of Qingzhou. How can it merge with a first-class power like the Zhou dynasty? Then the leader of the Great Qin dynasty is stupid? Shoo. You know nothing. The Great Qin dynasty is no longer the overlord of Qingzhou. You are talking about the Kunlun sect. Yes, it is the Kunlun sect, and after the merger of these two dynasties, they were named the Jiuyou dynasty. TSK, and it has also become an affiliated force of the Kunlun sect. Now, the overlord of Jiuyou is the Kunlun sect. Hiss. This Kunlun is really so powerful. All the states felt incredible about the move of the Great Qin dynasty. Although the Great Qin dynasty was not very powerful in the southern wilderness territory, but after all, there is an ancestor of the half-step Heavenly King realm, and now he has become an affiliated force of the Kunlun sect. It has to make people feel sad. At the same time, Tianjian sect, on Elder Peak, Yunlong originally wanted to go to Qingzhou today to destroy the Great Zhou dynasty. After learning that the Great Zhou dynasty and the Great Qin dynasty merged, his face is now extremely gloomy and extremely ugly. The Qin dynasty. Yunlong gritted his teeth and said, seeing that the inheritance was destroyed, he would have to take revenge immediately, but it happened that he merged with the Great Qin dynasty at this time, and now he also hates the Great Qin dynasty, but he also knew that the Qin dynasty was not something he could compete with, not to mention that now that the two dynasties had merged, they were still affiliated with the Kunlun sect. Even if he is the great elder of the Tianjian sect, it is impossible for Zhao Wuji to do everything he can to help him just because he offends the new Kyushu dynasty. What's more, behind the Kyushu dynasty is the Kunlun sect whose strength is unknown, but how did Zhao Wuji know this? He only knew that Yunlong's inheritance was destroyed in Qingzhou, and Yunlong didn't understand who was responsible. This also led to the fact that although Zhao Wuji knew what happened in Qingzhou, he did not pay too much attention to it. After all, in his opinion, as long as the Tianjian sect did not take the initiative to provoke the Kunlun sect, but it doesn't mean that Zhao Wuji is afraid of the Kunlun sect. Now his ancestor is also half-step to the Heavenly King realm, which makes him extremely confident. At this time, Zhao Wuji had already arrived at Elder Peak. When he saw Yunlong, he thought he was ready to go to Qingzhou, so he laughed. "Ha, Yin Changlong, let the fifth elders and others go to Qingzhou with you this time." Zhao Wuji smiled and said, since the big banquet, the entire Tianzhou knew that Tianjian sect was extremely powerful, which made him feel even more proud. Chapter 33, The war is about to begin, the sword is pointed at Kunlun. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hearing Zhao Wuji's words, Yunlong was still very grateful to Zhao Wuji, but you are so happy, what do you want to do? Have a meal. Yunlong smiled bitterly and explained the affairs of the Zhou dynasty to Zhao Wuji. After Zhao Wuji heard this, he looked stunned, and his eyes seemed a little disappointed. Can't you eat? No, it's the Tianjian sect's failure to pretend. The eyes of several elders behind him also flashed with a hint of disappointment. Horse riding. I'm afraid I can't pretend like this. Well, Elder Yun may have to discuss this matter in a long term, Zhao Wuji said quickly, fearing that Yunlong would get mad and attack Qingzhou directly. It's not that he is afraid of the Kunlun sect, it's just that the outside world has heard that the Kunlun sect has the power of a heavenly king. This forced him to be cautious, and the great Qin patriarch was also halfway to the heavenly king realm, and now he has become an affiliated force of the Kunlun sect. Even if the current Tianjian sect has an ancestor who is half a step above the heavenly king realm, he would not dare to offend the Kunlun sect. Sect Master, I understand the seriousness of this matter. Even if I want to take revenge, I will not do it as a member of the Tianjian sect. Speaking of this, Yunlong's eyes flashed with a trace of madness. The hatred of genocide is irreconcilable. Hear the words, Zhao Wuji felt relieved and immediately left with a few elders after saying a few words to Yunlong. Baron State, Jun family. As the only overlord force in the wilderness state, the Jun family has been in charge of the huge wilderness state for tens of thousands of years. Its heritage is that it is one of the strongest overlords in the southern wilderness territory besides those superpowers. Its strength can be described as extremely powerful, more powerful than the Heavenly King family in Yuezhou by more than a star. At this time, in a huge ancient city covering an area of thousands of miles, an earth-shattering terrifying aura suddenly appeared, permeating from the depths of the ancient city and sweeping towards the entire huge ancient city in an instant, buzzing. This aura is the fifth patriarch coming out of seclusion. In the center of the ancient city, in a majestic building, Jun Wuhui, who was meditating, felt this terrifying aura, looked excited, and disappeared in an instant. This huge ancient city is the residence of the Jun family, Taishu City. It is rumored that it was named after the ancient ancestor of the Jun family. The entire ancient city is protected by the magic runes carved by that ancient ancestor. Outsiders cannot enter this ancient city at all. Even if someone from the Heavenly King realm takes action, it is impossible to break this city. This breath is. The fifth patriarch must have left seclusion. Everyone in the Jun family in the city looked extremely excited. At this time, an old man said loudly and even more excitedly, "Deep in the ancient city lies the ancestral land of the Jun family." Xuanhuan stood respectfully outside as if waiting for someone. Suddenly, a space in front of him shook slightly, and an old man in gray clothes appeared. There was no breath flowing around him, and he slowly walked out of the space portal like an ordinary old man. Xuanhuan, I have met the fifth ancestor. But when Xuanhuan saw the old man's appearance, he stepped forward with excitement and said respectfully. The old man glanced at Xuanhuan and nodded. "Well, that's right. I haven't seen you in 100 years. You can break through to the half-step Heavenly King realm. It seems that I am not wrong about you. Thank you, fifth patriarch, for the compliment." Hearing this, Xuanhuan's eyes were excited and he looked at the old man respectfully. "Fifth ancestor, the ancient token appears." Xuanhuan continued, and then looked at the old man cautiously. "In the hands of which force?" Hearing this, the fifth patriarch's face did not change. He just glanced at Xuanhuan and said calmly, as if he didn't care about it. The fifth ancestor of the Jun family naturally knew what Xuanhuan meant, but he did not expect that besides those forces in the southern wilderness region, which other force could be the opponent of the Jun family. "Fifth ancestor, it's like this." Immediately afterwards, Xuanhuan told the fifth ancestor of the Jun family what happened in Qingzhou. It's interesting. I would like to see what this Kunlun sect old man has. After listening to Xuanhuan's words, the fifth patriarch's face did not change at all, but he said calmly, "Kunlun sect." In Zhongmen Square, Lin Yun, Luo Lingxue, and Qin Ruoxian were communicating about cultivation matters, and it could be said that they were getting along very harmoniously. Qin Ruoxian carefully explained the cultivation problems and bottlenecks to Lin Yun and Lingxue. Both of them felt incredible after hearing this. Because they were shocked when they heard the various answers given by their junior sister. Could my junior sister be the reincarnation of a powerful person? At this time, Lin Yun looked at Qin Ruoxian with wide eyes and said, "Junior sister, how come you know so much about all realms?" "Yes, junior sister, you are so powerful, no wonder you broke through so quickly." Lingxue was also very surprised at this time, and then sighed in her heart, "As a senior sister, I have to rely on my junior sister to take care of me, alas. No, maybe I have better talent." Qin Ruoxian smiled sweetly. She didn't want to reveal her identity so early. Although she has completely integrated into the Kunlun sect, she still cannot see the Kunlun sect's background. "I just know that just being the Kunlun sect's residence is very complicated, and maybe there is a more powerful foundation hidden there. But even if her identity is exposed in the future, she will no longer be the empress in charge of an ancient country, but just a disciple of the Kunlun sect." At this time, Qin Ruoxian couldn't help but think, maybe the Kunlun sect is my final destination. When Lin Yun thought of his junior sister's talent in cultivation, he began to think, little junior sister won't want to take advantage of me, right? No, I have to intensify my cultivation, otherwise when the sect master knows that my junior sister has such a monstrous talent, then my position as the senior brother will not be safe. The more he thought about it, the more flustered he became. Lin Yun seemed to have thought of something and asked Qin Ruoxian, "Junior sister, do you know the Fighting Saint body?" "Fighting Saint body?" Hearing this, Qin Ruoxian's face suddenly changed, and then stared at Lin Yun. "Fighting Saint body. This is a physique that can only appear in the upper realm. It is impossible for such a heaven-defying physique to appear in the lower realm because of the lack of heavenly law." Lin Yun's words gave her a hunch, as if, "Lin Senior brother, how do you know the Fighting Saint body?" He was not so used to calling Lin Yun his senior brother. After all, Lin Yun often smiled at Ling Xue in an inappropriate way, and she saw it in her eyes. but now, the disciples of Kunlun sect will call each other senior brothers sooner or later, and with her eyesight, she can see that Lin Yun seems to be different. Lin Yun was a little scared when his junior sister nagged him. He didn't understand why his junior sister reacted so strongly to the fighting saint body. He was stunned for a moment and turned his eyes and said, "Then, I'll ask that junior sister, hee." That at this moment, Lin Yun was sure that his junior sister knew about the fighting saint body. He couldn't help but smile bitterly in his heart. Master. Why does the little junior sister seem to know everything? I, as the senior brother, will be very embarrassed. At this moment, Lin Yun felt that his two junior sisters were riding on his face all the time, slapping him, the senior brother of Kunlun sect, in the face. This can't be blamed on Lin Yun's lack of experience. After all, Lin Yun's family was originally a small family, and the strong people he could contact before were only Dao Palace realm. If he hadn't entered Kunlun sect and stimulated the fighting saint body, it is estimated that if Lin Yun had no other opportunities in this life, perhaps the strongest physique of a generation would have been buried. Chapter 34, Holy Fighting Fist, Holy Gold Blood. You are listening at novelfull.audio. When Luo Lingxue heard this, the expression on her face changed slightly. She opened her mouth slightly and looked at Qin Ruoxian in disbelief. Junior sister, do you know about the holy body of fighting? That she had heard from the sect leader that the Dozhan holy physique was powerful. It stands to reason that monks at their level would not have access to this kind of physique. If Lin Yun hadn't had such a physique, she wouldn't have believed that such a heaven-defying physique really existed. Now my junior sister is not only very familiar with the difficulties she will encounter in cultivation, but she also seems to know some more mysterious things. This couldn't help but make her feel that her junior sister, who was gifted as an evil spirit, had a mysterious delusion. Of course we know that the Dozhan holy physique is one of the 10 most powerful physiques in the world. It is extremely powerful. As long as you don't die young with this kind of physique, the future emperor is just the starting point. Qin Ruoxian looked at the two of them seriously and said slowly. Ah! The great emperor is just the starting point. Hear the words. Lingxue was so shocked that her mouth opened wide, as if she could fit a stick made of meat into her mouth, and her heart trembled. Call. Junior sister must be joking, great emperor. That is the end of the cultivation path. How could it be the starting point? For the monks in the lower realm, the great emperor is already the last step on the path of cultivation. Their lifespan is extremely long, and the great emperor has not appeared in the Xianwu continent for millions of years, so much so that everyone in the Xianwu continent believed that this was an era when the great emperor did not exist. As for the realm of the great emperor's supremacy, perhaps only some immortals among those forces that have been inherited for millions of years may understand something about it. When these words fell into Lin Yun's ears, his body suddenly shook. His eyes widened and he looked at the junior sister who didn't seem to be joking, thinking that his ears had heard wrong. Junior sister, are you sure you are not joking? Yes, junior sister, regarding the physique of senior brother, the sect leader has said that he can be expected to be a great emperor in the future. The two of them didn't dare to talk to each other, thinking that their junior sister was joking with them. By the way, junior sister, you just said that the emperor. Lingxue just wanted to ask what it meant that the emperor was just the starting point. The words are not finished yet. Lingxue, you said, senior brother Lin's physique is the holy body of fighting. Qin Ruoxian's eyes narrowed, she was shocked, and interrupted Lingxue's words. No, how is that possible? How could such a physique appear in the lower realm? Moreover, with her eyesight, she never noticed that Lin Yun was actually the holy body of fighting. Yes, senior brother's physique is the holy body of fighting. Lingxue disagreed and looked at Qin Ruoxian in astonishment. Lin Yun also said seriously, junior sister, I do possess the holy body of fighting. The sect master also said that my physique is extremely powerful and it will not be a problem for me to become an emperor in the future. Hear the words. Lin, senior brother, attack me with all your strength. Qin Ruoxian could no longer remain calm. In order to be sure whether Lin Yun really possessed the holy body of fighting, she had to verify it herself. What? Attack you with all my strength? Hear this, Ling Xue was stunned and froze on the spot. Lin Yun was even more confused, looking at Qin Ruoxian in astonishment. What's going on? Will junior sister challenge my weakness as soon as she joins the Kunlun sect? This junior sister of mine is at the Dao Palace realm, and he is currently only at the 9th level of the Spirit Sea realm, which he broke through not long ago, but... Look, is this talking about human language? In less than a month since he awakened to the holy body of fighting, Lin Yun has broken through from the spiritual vein realm to the 9th level of the spiritual sea realm. This is just like cheating. If the young prodigies in Xianwu continent who claim to be peerless geniuses knew about this, they would have to beat Lin Yun to death. Isn't this looking for abuse? The key is that Ling Xue is still watching from the side, which makes his face change. Looking at the two people's reactions, Qin Ruoxian knew that they still didn't understand what she meant, so she said immediately. Senior brother Lin, you probably haven't experienced actual combat yet. She was right. Lin Yun had never really fought with others, which also led to Lin Yun not being very clear about his own strength. Lin Yun used to be a loser in the family, someone who could be bullied by anyone. Although Lin Yun entered Kunlun and inspired the holy body of fighting, and his strength increased by leaps and bounds, he did not fight against anyone else, but Qin Ruoxian knew how powerful the Dozhan holy body was, and it was simply invincible in the same realm. This same realm is not the same realm among ordinary monks, but is invincible among geniuses who also have special physiques. That's right, junior sister, I have never fought against anyone else. Lin Yun blushed, smiled, and continued, by the way, junior sister, why do you want me to attack you with all my strength? That he glanced at Lin Yun thoughtfully. Immediately afterwards, Qin Ruoxian looked at the two people and explained. With the holy body of fighting, you will not only be invincible in the same realm, but you will also be able to fight even if you encounter a strong person with a higher level of cultivation than yourself. Speaking of this, she thought of a supreme being in the upper world who also possessed the holy body of fighting. He took a deep look at Lin Yun and then said. Furthermore, the fighting holy physique is a physique born for fighting. Only by constantly tempering oneself in battle and understanding the way of fighting can one break through oneself and embark on the road to true invincibility. The reason why Qin Ruoxian knows so much about the holy body of Dozhan is entirely because there is a supreme being in the upper world who is also the holy body of Dozhan, that is a terrifying existence in the realm of immortality. Even her enemy, the ancient Wuji kingdom with immortals, is not even an ant in front of that person. Hear the words. Ling Xue's face was shocked. Hear this, Lin Yun's eyes flashed with light, and at this moment he also wanted to know his own strength. Junior sister is right. Only by constantly fighting can you become stronger, regardless of whether what the junior sister said is true or false. It seems that only through actual combat can we know. Thinking of this, Lin Yun secretly made up his mind. He decided to go out to experience and not grow up in the greenhouse all the time. Immediately afterwards, Lin Yun looked at Ling Xue beside him and said seriously, junior sister, please stay away first. Senior brother is afraid of hurting you later. Well. Senior brother, Ruoxian, don't take it too seriously, just stop there, Ling Xue said worriedly. After all, Lin Yun and Qin Ruoxian were far different in realm. She wasn't worried about Qin Ruoxian, she was afraid of Lin Yun. Junior sister, then senior brother, I will take action. After Ling Xue retreated, Lin Yun looked at Qin Ruoxian. Hearing this, Qin Ruoxian nodded slightly. You just have to attack with all your strength. Otherwise you won't even be able to take one of my moves. In order to make Lin Yun truly attack with all his strength without reservation, she did not forget to stimulate him a little. Really. When Lin Yun heard this, he couldn't bear it anymore. I knew it, junior sister. You really want to ride on my head, senior brother. What this means is, isn't it about whether you can do it or not, little dog? Can this be tolerated? Immediately afterwards, Lin Yun suddenly burst out with a powerful momentum, and 100-foot golden energy and blood burst out from his body, rushing straight into the sea of clouds, and the entire void seemed to be penetrated. Boom. Golden holy blood. Fighting holy body. Seeing this scene, Qin Ruoxian's heart trembled. At this moment, she was sure and believed that Lin Yun really possessed the holy body of fighting. The fighting holy body. If we go to the upper world, we may become the strongest person standing in the world in the future. Qin Ruoxian was shocked and murmured, just when she was shocked. Junior sister, be careful, Lin Yun shouted, and saw him raise his hand and make a fist. The golden holy blood in his body rushed to the fist crazily, and he punched Qin Ruoxian with a powerful punch. Fighting Holy Fist. Boom. Dear bosses and handsome boys, the author himself is no longer at work and will no longer make lemon tea. He will resume updating tomorrow. Chapter 35 Ancient Warship, coming across the domain. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Boom. A punch was thrown, and the space in front of him suddenly cracked, as if it was about to split. Crack. The huge golden fist print rushed towards Qin Ruoxian with powerful force. Is this the fighting saint body? Looking at the power in the golden fist print that was rushing towards her, Qin Ruoxian's face changed. She could feel that even the Shenzong realm could not stop Lin Yun's punch. I'm afraid he can already fight with the Daogong realm, this has already crossed a big realm. There are young geniuses in the upper realm who can fight across realms. They are all peerless geniuses with special talents. In the path of cultivation, the difference of a small realm is like a natural chasm, let alone a big realm. This simply broke her understanding of the fighting saint body. Boom. Qin Ruoxian hit a palm, and the fists and palms collided and exploded, making a huge sound. She is at the 9th level of the Dao Palace realm, and she was a great emperor in her lifetime, with rich combat experience. Facing Lin Yun's punch, she was able to easily resolve it. Ling Shui in the distance opened her mouth slightly, her eyes were extremely shocked, and she said excitedly. I didn't expect that the senior brother is so strong, that she could also feel the power of Lin Yun's punch. If it were her, she would definitely not be able to take it. Alas, it seems that I can't ride on the senior brother's face in the future. I didn't expect that I would be resolved by my junior sister with a palm when I used all my strength. It seems that my junior sister is right. I have to keep fighting. Lin Yun stayed in place and murmured. He was not disappointed with his strength, but recognized his strength. Now he needs to keep fighting, fighting and fighting. Senior brother, your punch just now is really too strong. Ling Shui and Qin Ruoxian came over and said excitedly. The junior sister is also very strong. My senior brother is not as strong as the junior sister. Lin Yun smiled and looked at the two of them, but he believed that he would soon surpass his junior sister. He has absolute confidence in himself. It's not that Lin Yun is afraid that the position of the senior brother is not his, but as a disciple of Kunlun sect, he has to shoulder the face and majesty of Kunlun sect, and he can't let others laugh at him. He doesn't want to disappoint Lu Chen. Brother, you have the strength of the fighting saint body, which can no longer be measured by the realm of cultivation. I believe that you are also clear about your own strength. I am afraid that it is not a problem to fight with the Dao Palace realm. Qin Ruoxian nodded slightly and said slowly. Now she has recognized Lin Yun as the senior brother. Although he is already a disciple of Kunlun, it is not so easy for her to recognize him if her senior brother is a person without talent and strength. After all, she is already a senior in all aspects. Although she does not have the previous cultivation strength, the cognition and trump card of a great emperor are unimaginable. Thank you for letting me know my strength clearly this time. Lin Yun said. Brother, you are polite. Qin Ruoxian smiled slightly. Brother, Ling Shui, tell me about our Kunlun sect. Qin Ruoxian didn't know much about Kunlun sect yet. She could feel that there seemed to be a terrifying existence hidden in Kunlun sect, and it was full of mystery. Okay, junior sister, let's go sit over there and talk. Speaking of this, Ling Shui took Qin Ruoxian's hand and walked towards a mountain peak. Junior sister, little junior sister, I have something to do with the sect master, so I won't accompany you. Lin Yun planned to talk to Lu Chen about going out for training now. Hearing this, Qin Ruoxian seemed to see what Lin Yun was thinking, but didn't say anything. The fighting saint body was never a flower in a greenhouse. She had heard in the upper realm that the supreme being with the fighting saint body had defeated countless Tianjiao, saint sons, and saint daughters all the way in his youth, and it took less than 500 years to step into the realm of the great emperor, and if Kunlun sect is really an ancient force in the upper realm as she thought, perhaps Lin Yun would step into the realm of the great emperor in less than a few hundred years. At the same time, Jiuyou Dynasty, the former capital of the great Zhou Dynasty, has now become the capital of the Jiuyou Dynasty. Although this capital is not protected by formations and is not as good as the original ancient city of the great Qin king, all the major forces in the southern wilderness now know that the Jiuyou Dynasty is already a subsidiary force of Kunlun. Before confirming whether Kunlun is a hidden sect and whether there is a heavenly king realm, those forces with a half-step heavenly king realm dare not rashly attack the Jiuyou Dynasty. After all, Chen Beixian killed a half-step heavenly king realm. In the capital of the great Qin king that day, which made those first-class overlord forces extremely fearful, there are also two rulers of the Jiuyou Dynasty, Qin Zhan and Luo Wuxuang. As for their respective ancestors, they have also become the common ancestors of the Jiuyou Dynasty, and Luo Yuan has now broken through the void realm. After all, the great Qin Dynasty also had some foundation before, and took out a top-grade spiritual medicine and a void-breaking pill to help Luo Yuan recover from his injuries and break through the realm. At this time, a warship came across the domain. Above the southern wilds, a huge bronze warship filled with an ancient atmosphere suddenly appeared in the air. Two ancient characters, Jiuyou, were engraved on the warship, and it was heading rapidly towards a certain direction in the southern wilds. Rumble. Where the warship passed, it immediately impacted the void with countless loud noises. The sound of the void breaking echoed in this world, instantly attracting the attention of countless forces under the states where the warship passed. At this moment, the cultivators of the states in the southern wilds were shocked. Fuck! Look! What was that thing that just flew by? How could it be so fast? It's like a little bull riding an airplane. Awesome! A cultivator exclaimed, immediately attracting the attention of the surrounding cultivators, all looking towards the void. Hiss! That looks like a warship. Yes, it's a warship, but which overlord is it? Warships are only owned by overlord-level forces, so they saw at a glance that the warship must be a overlord-level force. What's going on recently? First, a Kunlun sect that seems to be a hidden sect appeared in the southern wilderness, and now an ancient warship has appeared. Is something big happening again? That direction seems to be Qinzhou. The ancient token seems to be in the hands of the Kunlun sect in Qinzhou. It seems that a force finally can't help but take action. Yes, could it be? Hurry, go to Qinzhou. That warship must be going to Kunlun sect. Now there will be excitement to watch. Sure enough, if there is excitement to watch, no matter how big the event is, even if two major forces go to war, suddenly, countless cultivators from all the states saw the intention of the warship, and they all soared into the sky and rushed to Qinzhou. They had long wanted to know whether Kunlun sect was a hidden sect, and now a dominant force had taken action. They also wanted to see if Kunlun sect could stop it this time. Is it really a hidden sect as rumored? At this time, someone from the dominant forces in the southern wilderness recognized the origin of the warship and was shocked. That seems to be the overlord of the East region. Dear big guys, after these few chapters are over, the plot will unfold later. Please be gentle with your criticism. Thank you for your support. Chapter 36, A Mere Third-Rate Force, Not Knowing Whether to Live or Die. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 9 Nether Dynasty, that's right, that warship is the 9 Nether Dynasty of the East region. Over Jiuyou, an old man with a terrifying aura appeared. He was a half-step heavenly king ancestor of the Han family, the dominant force in Jiuyou. He looked solemnly at the direction of Qinzhou. It turns out that the half-step heavenly king who appeared in Qinzhou that day was from the 9 Nether Dynasty. It seems that it's time for my Han family to take action. Kunlun sect. Even if there is a heavenly king this time, I'm afraid it won't be able to stop the major forces. A top dominant force came across the domain, which is not a good thing for the various forces in the southern wilderness. After all, the ancient token is in Qinzhou. If it is obtained by forces from other major domains, it will be a slap in the face for the forces in the southern wilderness. Of course, his Han family also wants to get it, but the dominant forces in each state seem to be waiting. What are they waiting for? Of course, they are waiting to see who will take action against Kunlun sect first. There are heavenly kings in all the top dominant forces, but they are all in a deep sleep. Those old immortals will not wake up unless it is a matter of life and death. Of course, if it is a force like the Jun family that has been passed down for hundreds of thousands of years, its foundation is even more terrifying. This also leads to the fact that the sudden appearance of a half-step heavenly king realm is enough to break the balance among the major forces. Now, the Jiuyou dynasty took the lead in attacking Kunlun, which will definitely attract the attention of other top hegemonic forces. The major forces have long wanted to know whether Kunlun really has a heavenly king realm. And before, at the auction in the great Qin King city, the Tianling pill was obtained by the Han family. The Han family and the Jun family of the wilderness state are both top hegemonic forces with heavenly king realm, and they are enough to rank in the top 10 among the major hegemonic forces in the southern wilderness. It's time to awaken the foundation of my Han family, otherwise the ancient token may not be with my Han family. After the old man finished speaking, his figure disappeared instantly. As the old man of the Han family said, now the major hegemonic forces in the southern wilderness are awakening their own foundations. The hegemonic forces of Yuezhou, deep in the Yaoqi palace, a beautiful woman in palace dress appeared, and the terrifying aura she inadvertently revealed made all the disciples of Yaoqi palace tremble. Then, the figure disappeared on the spot, and in other major states, this scene also appeared one after another. At this moment, I saw a terrifying aura spreading in the major states. Instantly, countless cultivators in the southern wilderness were frightened and didn't understand what was going on. On the other side, Jiuyou Royal City, in a hall, Qin Zhan and Luo Wuxuang were talking about something. And at this time, the two did not know that the crisis had come. Buzz. Boom! A huge ancient warship appeared in the sky above the Jiuyou dynasty and headed towards the Jiuyou Royal City. Countless monks in armor appeared on the warship, all exuding a powerful aura. It was the people of the Jiuyou dynasty. The huge sound of breaking through the air resounded throughout the Jiuyou dynasty, causing the faces of the cultivators of the entire Jiuyou dynasty to change drastically, and they all looked at the huge warship. A warship? Which force is this? How dare they act like this in the Jiuyou dynasty? Are they looking for death? They didn't know what happened yet, and thought it was some overlord who was looking for trouble. After all, the Jiuyou dynasty is very powerful now, because it is backed by the Kunlun sect. It is said in the southern wilderness that there is a heavenly king in Kunlun. This also made the Jiuyou dynasty famous in the southern wilderness. In the palace of the king's city, Qin Zhan and Luo Wuxuang's faces changed, and then they disappeared. Schwa. The two figures appeared in the sky above the king's city. Looking at the ancient warship that had appeared in the sky above the king's city, they suddenly had a bad premonition. Brother Qin, can you tell the origin of this warship? Luo Wuxuang looked at the words Jiuyou engraved on the warship. His face was extremely solemn, and asked. Jiuyou. Jiuyou. Qin Zhan murmured, and a terrifying force suddenly flashed in his mind. His face, Schwa, changed drastically, and he said in shock. Eastern Sky region, the top overlord Jiuyou dynasty. Then, there was an exclamation. Not good, Brother Luo, quickly informed the two ancestors. Jiuyou dynasty must be coming for the ancient token. At this time, Qin Zhan already understood the origin of the armored man that day. No wonder he was so powerful. Although Luo Yuan is only in the cave void realm now, his seniority and qualifications are there, and Qin Zhan is also called an ancestor. When Luo Wuxuang heard this, he hurriedly took out the communication talisman to inform the two ancestors. On weekdays, the two ancestors are in seclusion and usually do not wake up on the warship. Your Majesty, this is the Jiuyou dynasty. The previous great Qin dynasty was the overlord of Qinzhou. Now it has merged with a small dynasty to form a new dynasty. A man in armor said respectfully to a man in gorgeous clothes beside him. This man in armor was a forbidden soldier who came to the southern wilderness with the man in gold armor that day, and the man in gold armor who died in Chen Beishuan's hands was a commander of the Jiuyou dynasty's forbidden soldiers. After he returned to the Nine Nether dynasty, he came to the southern wilderness and had been lurking in Qinzhou, so he was very clear about the merger of the Great Qin and Great Zhou dynasties. Hearing this, the prince said disdainfully, "A third-rate hegemonic force dares to kill people from my 9 Nether dynasty, I want to see what kind of waves the Kunlun sect can make this time." This time, the 9 Nether dynasty dispatched a clan elder, which made him extremely confident. Even if Kunlun really has a heavenly king realm, he will not panic. "Go, destroy this Kyushu dynasty, and get the ancient token first," the prince said coldly. "Yes, your majesty. This is the top overlord force. Even if it has half-stepped to the heavenly king realm, in his eyes, it is like an inferior force. He has never looked at Xinjiang and Luowu since then. If the leader of the Jiuyou kingdom hadn't been afraid of capsizing in the gutter and insisted on inviting a dynasty clan elder, this prince would have wanted to destroy the Jiuyou dynasty and the Kunlun sect." After the prince finished speaking, the man in armor next to him walked out of the warship. Without even looking at Xinjiang in the air, he raised his hand and struck out with a sudden palm, pressing towards the royal city below with great power. Boom, the palm turned into a powerful aura palm print and suppressed it. The monks below the royal city suddenly felt their scalp numb, their faces turned pale, and they screamed in surprise. "Yes, yes, a strong man in the Dongshu realm. Ah! Why haven't the 2 kings taken action yet?" Just as the sound rang out, Qin Zhan realized that he had not expected that the Jiuyou dynasty was so powerful. As soon as he came up, he took action. His eyes were split and he roared. "You're looking for death." A spear appeared in Qin Zhan's hand. He felt that the armored man's cultivation level was the same as his own. He was at the first level of the cave void realm, and his aura was quite powerful. He did not dare to hold back and fired a powerful shot directly. Buzz. Bang bang. The palm print exploded instantly, causing a loud noise that spread throughout the royal city. The armored man's eyes narrowed, and he looked at Qin Zhan and his 2 men with cold eyes, his expression extremely ugly. "Who are you? How dare you stop me?" Luo Wuxuang was directly ignored by him, and only Qin Zhan in the Dongshu realm could let him take a look. "Humph, I am the leader of the Kyushu dynasty, Qin Zhan. PS/big guys, handsome guys, the protagonist is about to appear and slap you in the face. Guys, please spray gently. The author doesn't want water either. It's exciting as the plot unfolds." Chapter 37, The powerful beings in the Heavenly King realm appear one after another. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hearing this, the armored man said with cold eyes, "I don't care who you are, if you dare to stop me, you're looking for death." As soon as the voice fell, a strong momentum burst out from him and swept towards Qin Zhan. Buzz. This is the top overlord force, and anyone sent out is a strong man in the void realm. Boom. The armored man's momentum was full of momentum, and his figure disappeared instantly. When he appeared again, he had come in front of Qin Zhan. He stretched out his big hand with a strong force and grabbed Qin Zhan suddenly. Buzz. What a fast speed! Qin Zhan's heart trembled, his face changed, and the power in his body was madly running and poured into the spear, stabbing forward the armored man. Puff. Just listen, puff. Suddenly, blood and broken meat splattered, floating in the air and very eye-catching. The spear pierced through the palm of the armored man and went straight to his shoulder. A large hole with white bones exposed suddenly appeared. The mana in the Heavenly King war weapon burned the armored man's wound, making him scream. "Ah!" The armored man screamed and retreated quickly, almost falling in the air. Both of them were in the first level of the cave void realm, but the spear in Qin Zhan's hand was a Heavenly King war weapon. Although it was incomplete, it was still not something the armored man could resist. It turned out to be an incomplete Heavenly King war weapon. On the warship, the prince looked at the spear in Qin Zhan's hand and his face changed slightly, then his eyes turned cold and looked at the armored man angrily. "Waste." After finally stabilizing his body, the armored man heard the prince's angry rebuke, which made his originally pale face instantly full of murderous intent and looked at Qin Zhan. Unfortunately, now he can only stare at Qin Zhan fiercely, trying to kill him with his eyes. he didn't expect that the other party actually had a Heavenly King war soldier, and he almost capsized after failing to force the enemy to pretend. I am incompetent, and I beg the prince to help. The armored man returned to the warship with his broken body, and knelt in front of the prince with a trembling voice. The prince didn't even look at him, but walked out of the warship armor and stood in the void, looking at Xuanhuan and the others with cold eyes. Half-step Heavenly King realm, that the two people opposite Xuanhuan suddenly felt a chill on their backs, and trembled in their hearts. Humph, hand over the ancient token and take me to the Kunlun sect, otherwise I will make your Jiuyou dynasty disappear completely from the southern wilderness. I don't know what you are talking about. Xuanhuan said solemnly. The words fell, the prince snorted coldly, and the terrifying aura on his body was released, and he raised his hand and waved it lightly, bang. Xuanhuan and Luo Wuxuang were knocked down to the magnificent hall below the ground and smashed directly. Puff! Puff! Luo Wuxuang's cultivation was too low to withstand the casual blow of the half-step heaven realm, and he fell to the ground, his life or death unknown. Xuanhuan's face was extremely pale and he barely supported himself at this time. Just as he was about to speak, another mouthful of blood gushed out. Seeing this, the king of Jiuyou no longer had the patience to play. Humph, if that's the case, let's destroy the Jiuyou dynasty first. After saying that, he raised his hand and pressed down on the royal city below, and a huge palm appeared in the void, and terrifying power emerged from it, and the area within 100 miles seemed to be covered by a palm. Boom. The huge palm carried the terrifying power and suppressed it, and immediately issued a deafening cracking sound. Ah! Who will save me? The countless cultivators below the royal city could not bear this terrifying aura at all, and they screamed loudly, seeing that the giant palm was about to fall, at this moment. Get out of here! Two old men behind the royal city appeared in the void and shouted loudly. It was Luo Yuan and Qinlan, the two ancestors of the Jiuyou dynasty. Then, Qinlan's aura burst out, and the power in his body emerged without reservation. He gathered in his hands and punched the huge one. Bang! A deafening sound rang out, and two forces exploded in the air, and the terrifying energy rushed towards the area of 100 miles. Seeing that the crisis was temporarily over, Luo Yuan rushed to Xuanhuan, and Luo Wuxuang took the two away. Old thing, you are looking for death. Seeing this, the prince's face suddenly became extremely ugly and looked at Qinlan with cold eyes. At this time, Qinlan's face was extremely solemn. He didn't expect that someone would be unable to resist attacking the Jiuyou dynasty so soon, just when the Jiuyou prince was about to destroy the person in front of him. Enough of playing, I don't have so much time to waste with you here. A voice sounded in this world, and the faint words were full of majesty. Hearing this, the prince's body shook and his eyes were full of awe. He bowed his head in the air and said respectfully, "Yes." The words fell. A terrifying aura that made everyone unable to raise the thought of resistance filled the world. An invisible big hand suddenly appeared in the sky and gently waved towards the royal city below. Qinlan felt this breathtaking aura, his pupils shrank suddenly, and his face was instantly filled with fear. Heaven! Heavenly King realm! But before he could finish, the terrifying power had enveloped the entire royal city, and everyone was suppressed by this aura and could not move. Boom! Bang, bang, bang! The countless palaces and buildings in the royal city below were all destroyed by the amazing power. At this moment, the entire throne looked like a ruin. The sound of collapse sounded. Countless cultivators fell in the ruins. Some cultivators with low cultivation had lost their breath. Qinlan and his group also failed to escape and fell to the ground, dying. Fortunately, the person who made the move just waved his hand lightly, as if killing these weak ants was an insult to him. Go, take those people with you and ask where the Kunlun sect is. As the voice fell, everything returned to calm. The prince grabbed Xuanhuan, Luo Wuxuang and others on the warship with his big hand. Then the warship left the ruins. At the same time, the forces of various states and countless cultivators who wanted to watch the excitement have also come. Of course, some states far away from Qingzhou are still on the way. They have no warships and can only fly here. Of course, the speed is not that fast. Already arrived above the Jiuyou King's city, everyone was shocked by the scene in front of them. A huge king city is now in ruins. Hiss. Is this the capital of the Jiuyou dynasty? How did it become a ruin? What happened? Did a great man from the Heavenly King realm take action? But before everyone could react, a cry of surprise came. Look, some of those people are not dead yet. The monks who are not dead in the ruins, thank you so much. Someone noticed that there are still people alive in the ruins below and screamed. Sure enough, everyone saw that there are indeed many people whose life breath has not been extinguished, but they are all bleeding, which looks shocking. It's so scary. Countless people are terrified when they look at the ruins of the capital below. It's hard to imagine what kind of power destroyed this place like this. This is the breath of mana. It seems that the Heavenly King realm in the 9 Nether dynasty has taken action. It should be correct. The ancient token is in my southern wilderness. If the 9 Nether dynasty wants to take it away, my Han family will not agree. I haven't seen you for 10,000 years, but your tone hasn't changed at all, Han Sang. Who can get the ancient token depends on their strength. But now it seems that the 9 Nether dynasty should go to find that Kunlun sect. The ancient token should be in the hands of the Kunlun sect. I didn't expect that a force suspected to be a hidden sect appeared in the southern wilderness after such a long absence. It's quite interesting. What hidden sect? If it weren't for the nonsense of the younger generations in your clan, the younger generation of my Lingyun palace would not need to wake me up and would have taken the ancient token long ago. Let's go, follow this breath, otherwise the ancient token will be obtained by the 9 Nether dynasty. In the void of this world, several immortal gods were communicating, sensing the aura of mana left here. They have guessed that the Jiuyou dynasty has also dispatched a Heavenly King realm. This is not a good thing for them. Even they dare not underestimate the strength of the Jiuyou dynasty. This divine thought is right. If the major forces had not seen Chen Beixian in Qingzhou that day and said that he was just a guard elder of Kunlun, he would have killed a half-step Heavenly King realm in seconds. This would have made the major forces jealous and suspicious, and the foundation of the major forces was sleeping, so they did not dare to act rashly against Kunlun. What's more amazing is that the more it is spread, the more outrageous it is. In the mouths of those casual cultivators in the southern wilderness, Kunlun is said to have the existence of a saint. Of course, the major forces will never believe that there is a saint. What kind of existence is a saint? There has been no saint in the southern wilderness for tens of thousands of years. This also led to the southern wilderness being the lowest in strength in the Xianwu continent, so nothing is scary. Rumors are the scariest. We should not spread rumors or believe them. Southern wasteland cultivator, you are talking nonsense. Yunzhou's Lingyun Palace is a top-level hegemonic force, but it rarely appears in the southern wasteland. Unless something big happens, Lingyun Palace didn't even go to the last wasteland auction. Chapter 38 Sage Realm. Lu Chen breaks through. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Immortal Burial Mountain Range. From the sky, it looks like a giant dragon lying prone on the ground. The entrance looks like the dragon's big mouth opens to support 2 ancient stone pillars that go straight into the clouds and stand between the sky and the earth. It looks majestic from a distance. At this time, Kunlun Sect, in the main hall, Lu Chen was sitting cross-legged on the main seat with his eyes closed. He could see divine light flowing around him, and a chaotic scene behind him emerged with gleaming light. He looked like a supreme immortal king sitting high in the 9 heavens, overlooking all things in the world. Aha! Lu Chen slowly opened his eyes, and a divine light burst out, as if countless worlds were spinning in his eyes, then disappeared in the blink of an eye and returned to normal. It's the cave realm. Lu Chen's face lit up and he said happily. After this period of time, he had mastered the 9 levels of magical power in the Chaos Spiritual Method. As for the first level of the Chaos Holy Law, it is the Supreme Immortal Sutra that complements the Chaos Holy Body. Lu Chen can just practice it directly. Then I thought of something and thought to myself. System, use the cultivation card. Lu Chen's current cultivation level is still too low. As the leader of a sect, how can he only have the cultivation level of Dongshu realm? Moreover, he now possesses the Chaos Holy Body, and his foundation is already armed to the teeth, and he is afraid that the hammer will not be stable. Although there is a system, it can be said that there is no bottleneck in terms of realm. As long as you obtain the cultivation card system, it can directly give you a grand slam, but if your own foundation is not good, even if you have great cultivation, once you encounter those terrifying powerful men who truly dominate the heavens and the world, you may be capsized. Lu Chen's eyes are not only on the Xianwu continent, he wants to lead Kunlun to dominate the world and become the strongest sect in all worlds. Ding, the cultivation card is used successfully, and the host has obtained the first level of Saint Realm cultivation, /. Chapter 39. Is this a forbidden area? This is a treasure land. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hearing this, the prince thought for a while without saying a word, and said with a cold look, "Humph, what are you afraid of? That person is here, and if this Kunlun sect is really in the burial Immortal Mountains, it means that there is not only no danger here, but there is also a high possibility of opportunities." Then he waved his hand, and the warship rushed into the burial Immortal Mountains, in the square of Kunlun sect. At this time, Chen Beixian was checking Lin Yun's progress in cultivation, and Ling Xue and Qin Ruoxian were also watching. Suddenly, Chen Beixian frowned and his face changed slightly, buzzed out. A warship quickly came over Kunlun sect. Suddenly, Lin Yun and his companions changed their faces and looked at the warship. This was the first time he saw other forces coming to Kunlun sect to cause trouble. As the eldest brother, Lin Yun was about to scold someone when he saw someone dare to be so presumptuous in front of Kunlun sect, but before he could speak, bang bang. Four bloody and embarrassed figures were thrown off the warship, bang bang. Several people looked at them carefully, their faces changed drastically, and their killing intent instantly burst out. They were Qin Zhan, Luo Wuxuang, and the two ancestors of the Jiuyou dynasty. Father, ancestor. Father, ancestor, Qin Ruoxian and Ling Xue shouted with red eyes, and rushed forward, sob. Several sounds of breaking through the air sounded, and Wang Ming and the other two also appeared in the square, staring at the every move of the warship in the sky. "Meet Elder Chen." Wang Ming and the other two said respectfully to Chen Beixian, nodding. Chen Beixian, Lin Yun and the others hurried forward, and seeing the broken bodies of the four people, Chen Beixian immediately checked the injuries of the four people. Qin Ruoxian has always felt the love of Qin Zhan and Qin Lan for her, although she usually feels a little reluctant to call Qin Zhan father. After all, she still has the arrogance that the former emperor should have, but now she has slowly accepted all this. At this moment, a shocking killing intent burst out of her body, and a chill surged out of her body. The air seemed to be solidified at this moment. Lin Yun and Ling Xue couldn't help but shudder, and even Chen Beixian looked at Qin Ruoxian thoughtfully. The spiritual energy was continuously transported into the bodies of the four people, and Chen Beixian's eyes became colder and colder. The four people's tendons and veins were broken, and the Dao palace in their bodies was broken, which also meant that the four people could only stay in the Shenzong realm in this life. "Elder, how are the injuries of the seniors?" Lin Yun said with a worried look on his face, while comforting Ling Xue and Qin Ruoxian. "Woo woo woo. Elder, Ling Xue begs you to save my father and the others." Ling Xue's face was full of tears and she cried and begged. Qin Ruoxian also saw the injuries of several people. The coldness on her face became colder, and the emperor's thoughts in her soul had been activated by her. Just when she was about to make a move, buzzed out a white-clothed figure without any breath appeared. It was Lu Chen. Just now, Lu Chen was practicing the Chaos Divine Spirit method, and his own thoughts were integrated into it, isolating his perception of the outside world. When he finished, he sensed that something was wrong, and he didn't expect such a thing to happen. After looking at Luo Wuxuang, Qin Zhan and the other four, his face was extremely ugly. Now that he was a saint, he could naturally see the serious injuries of several people at a glance. Sect Master, that when everyone saw Lu Chen appear, they immediately stood up to salute and heard Lu Chen say, "Okay, no need to be polite." Lu Chen waved his hand, and then a divine light hit the bodies of the four people. The divine light flowed through the four people's bodies, and the originally broken bodies were magically slowly repairing. This scene made Lin Yun and the others' eyes widen instantly. This is simply a miracle. When did Lin Yun and Ling Shui see such a heaven-defying method, and they were shocked in their hearts. What kind of cultivation is the sect master, that even Qin Ruoxian's heart trembled. Even if she was a great emperor in her lifetime, it would be difficult to do such a method, because she clearly felt that the injuries on the four people were not only recovering at a speed visible to the naked eye, but even the broken Dao palace in the body was being repaired by an inexplicable force, after a moment. Ahem, 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 that the four slowly opened their eyes and woke up. After seeing Ling Shui and the others, they looked a little dazed. Ling Shui. Ruoxian. Luo Wuxuang and Qin Zhan looked at their daughters and were a little afraid to speak. Father, ancestors. You are going to scare Ling Shui to death. Ling Shui cried. The two ancestors didn't react. Suddenly, a few people looked around, and after seeing Lu Chen, their faces instantly became happy and they hurriedly said respectfully. Meet the sect master. Lu Chen nodded and said. No need to be polite, who hurt you like this? Hearing this, the joy on the four people's faces changed, and fear appeared in their eyes, and they said solemnly. Sect master, the other party is the top overlord of the East Heaven domain, the 9 Nether Dynasty, and there are heavenly kings. They came for the ancient token. Hearing this, Lin Yun and the others were also shocked. Heavenly King. I didn't expect that even such an existence would appear. Even if Qin Ruoxian has the Emperor's mind, she is no match for the Heavenly King realm. Her Emperor's mind is just a remnant, and it can't exert much power at all. East Heaven realm. I didn't expect it to be a force from another large realm. This is also the first time Lu Chen has come into contact with a force outside the Southern Wilderness realm. I didn't expect it to be a top-level hegemonic force. But now Lu Chen doesn't care what top dynasty you are. As long as there is no force above the saint, he doesn't take it seriously. What about the top overlord forces? Anyone who dares to hurt me, Kunlun, no one in this world can save the Jiuyou dynasty. Lu Chen's face turned cold and he said, hearing these words, everyone's body was shocked, and the blood in their bodies boiled. Sect master, you are so domineering. Just then, just listen to a raging sound coming from the warship above. Who is the leader of the Kunlun sect? Get out of here. On the warship, Prince Jiuyou looked at the people below with a sneer. At the same time, he was overjoyed. He didn't expect that the spiritual energy here was so rich. What kind of bullshit immortal martial arts forbidden area, this is such a treasure. This is all a lie, the rumors are hurting me. This will be the territory of my Jiuyou dynasty from now on. At this time, he was already dizzy from the rich spirit energy here. He looked at the attic and the peak standing on the top of the mountain below, and couldn't help laughing. I didn't expect this to be a treasured place for cultivation. It's great. In the square, everyone heard the disrespectful sounds towards Lu Chen coming from the warship high in the sky. Wang Ming and others' expressions suddenly turned cold. Looking for death. Dare to disrespect the sect leader. Boom. The auras of several people were released sparsely, and their powerful momentum moved toward the air warships, Dongxiu realm. That's right, Wang Ming and the other three have reached the level of Dongxiu realm. Qin Zhan, Luo Wuxuang, Lin Yun and others suddenly looked shocked and shocked. Damn it. Aren't these three seniors in the realm of transformation into gods? Why are you in the cave realm after not seeing each other for a while? Even Qin Ruoxian was shocked. She could see that the strength of the three of them was extremely strong, and they did not rely on external force or pills to achieve breakthroughs. Kunlun. So mysterious. Lu Chen didn't even glance at the warship from beginning to end. With his current level of cultivation, he could tell the level of everyone's level in this battle in just one thought. Moreover, Lu Chen had sensed that there were several auras hidden in this space, but Lu Chen didn't take it seriously from beginning to end. If his guess was correct, they should all be here for the ancient token. Hee. Want to play? Just think about Kunlun's strength, right? Then I will accompany you to have fun. It is also a good opportunity to let everyone in the southern wilderness know the strength of Kunlun. Wang Ming, Wang Xian, Wang Lin, leave it to you. Don't let him die too quickly. Lu Chen didn't even look at the person speaking on the warship, and said calmly to Wang Ming and the others, "The prince with the highest cultivation level on the warship is half a step to the Heavenly King realm." After this period of time, Chen Beishuan's cultivation level has also reached the first level of the Heavenly King realm. As for why Chen Beishuan and Wang Ming broke through so quickly, the answer given by the system is, their true realm is suppressed, and they will slowly regain their strength as their cultivation strength increases. At first, Lu Chen thought they had improved through their own cultivation methods. I didn't expect that. After all, it was me, the sect leader, who resisted everything. Yes, sect master. The three people understood, and then their figures disappeared instantly. Chapter 40, Jiuyou Dynasty, the Heavenly King Clan Elder. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Although the faint words were not loud, they fell clearly in everyone's ears. What? Wang Ming's three figures appeared in the void, and then the powerful aura in their bodies rolled out, overwhelming the sky. If you dare to come to Kunlun and be unruly, please stay here today. Immediately afterwards, Wang Ming took a step in the air and raised his hand to grab the warship. Suddenly, boom. A big hand made of condensed spiritual power shrouded the warship with powerful power. Hearing this, the expression on the face of the prince on the warship changed. As a half-step Heavenly King, no one dared to speak to him like this for who knows how long. What made him even more angry was that the three of them actually didn't take him seriously, and only one of them took action. This made him extremely angry and said with cold eyes. 3 ants in the cave void realm dare to be disrespectful to me, dare to take action against me, and are seeking death. Boom. The powerful aura of the half-step Heavenly King burst out, and when he raised his hand and waved, a palm print formed by the gathering of spiritual power struck the direction of Wang Ming and the others. Bang. There was a loud noise, and the palm prints were ruthlessly scratched to pieces. The powerful force knocked the prince directly away, and the entire warship was smashed to pieces by him. Everyone on the warship was innocently affected before they could react. Bang bang bang. Puff. It is indeed a half-step to the Heavenly King realm. He almost killed all his own people. Puff. How is it possible? My lord, are you okay? The armored man climbed up from the deck with a pale face, rushed to the prince's side and said tremblingly, "Are you so blind?" Puff. The prince spurted another mouthful of blood and almost fainted. At this time, he looked at Wang Ming with eyes full of disbelief and pointed at him, his voice trembling. At this moment, he no longer had the arrogance he had before, his face was full of fear, and a terrible thought could not help but appear in his mind, the hidden sect. You are not in the Dongshu realm. You, don't come over. He. Hearing this, Wang Ming said with cold eyes, "You are too weak. You dare to disrespect the sect leader and take action against my Kunlun people. You are really looking for death. No, don't kill me." He thought Wang Ming was going to kill him, so he immediately shouted in fear. "Elder of the clan! Save me!" The cry for help ended, and a majestic scolding sound came from nowhere. "It's useless, even 3 ants in the whole void realm can't kill it." Buzz. There was a sudden tremor in the void somewhere, and an extremely thin old man was seen walking out of the crack in the space. He exuded a terrifying aura, and he paid no attention to anyone. What a terrifying smell. Heavenly King Realm. Qin Zhan, Luo Wuxuang, and others instantly looked panicked and their hearts trembled. This is the first time they have come into contact with the power of the Heavenly King. However, after looking at Lu Chenfeng's calm appearance, the panic in his heart quickly disappeared. They believe that Kunlun definitely has powerful beings at the Heavenly King level. They say that the Immortal Burial Mountain Range is a forbidden area with great terror. Who would have thought that the aura here is so rich? Yes. This trip is not in vain. From now on, this place will belong to my Jiuyou dynasty. TSK. Another confident and arrogant handsome boy appeared. No, it was an old boy. This old man is the clan elder of the Jiuyou dynasty, a person in the 5th level of the Heavenly King realm. At this time, after he felt the surrounding environment, his skinny face showed a look of satisfaction, as if this place already belonged to his Jiuyou dynasty. He didn't expect that in addition to the ancient tokens, he would also have unexpected gains during this trip, which made him feel very good. Elder of the clan, help me. Seeing his family talking to themselves all the time, the prince's heart suddenly went cold. Snort. Hearing this, the clan elder snorted coldly, then looked at the crowd and said with a cold expression. Who is the leader of the Kunlun sect? Hand over the ancient token obediently. I am in a good mood today. Maybe I can let you live. It doesn't matter whether you are in a good mood or not. Chen was in a very bad mood at this time. Hearing this, Chen didn't even look at him lazily. Now that the Heavenly King realm can no longer enter his eyes, only the presence of a saint or above can make Chen feel in danger. Bei Xian, kill me. It's time to let everyone in the southern wilderness know about my Kunlun strength. Jie. Upon hearing these words, the elder of the Jiuyou clan seemed to have heard a big joke. He smiled sinisterly and then his face darkened and his eyes darkened. It's interesting, boy, are you the leader of the Kunlun sect? I can't see through you. It's a good trick, but after today, your so-called Kunlun sect will disappear. Haha, he thought Chen had a way to hide his own aura. No matter how hard he thought, he would never have thought that a saint was in front of him at this moment, really looking for death. Now Chao, Bei Xian, kill him quickly. This old guy's imagination left Chen speechless. Wang Ming and the others had already returned to Chen when the old man appeared. Looking at the old man of the Jiuyou clan like a dead person, Chen said lightly to Chen Bei Xian, it's time for those who are watching the show hidden in this space to see Kunlun's strength. Otherwise, all the cats and dogs would come to Kunlun to act as they pleased. Of course, with Chen's current saint strength, he can wipe out this old man's body with just a wave of his hand, but as the leader of a sect, he still has to have the strength. After all, if he has to take action in anything, then it seems a bit pricey. Yes, Sect Master, Chen Bei Xian said respectfully, with a trace of amusement flashing in his eyes. He understood what Chen meant. Of course, he also sensed that there were several auras hidden in this space. Immediately afterwards, the figure instantly appeared opposite the elder of the Jiuyou clan, and an extremely powerful and terrifying aura burst out from his body. In just a moment, the extremely terrifying aura quickly spread from here to a radius of thousands of miles. Boom. This moment, even the monks in other big states felt this chilling aura and all looked in the direction of Qingzhou. They all rushed towards Qingzhou to find out what happened. Chen Bei. Boom, feeling this terrifying aura, the face of the old man from the Jiuyou clan suddenly changed. How is this possible? There was a trace of fear in the depths of his eyes, and his heart trembled violently, and he said in shock. This is the first level of the Heavenly King realm. Damn it! Why is the aura so terrifying? His face was full of disbelief. You must know that he is in existence in the 5th level of the Heavenly King realm. But no one has answered his question yet. In the void, the old immortals in the southern wilderness region who were hiding in this space suddenly felt something bad, and quickly used their own methods to stabilize the violent fluctuations in the void to prevent their own auras from being exposed. Hiss. What kind of sect is this Kunlun sect? Why are there such powerful Heavenly King realm experts? Damn it, that person is clearly only at the 1st level of the Heavenly King realm. Why is his aura so terrifying? Dear gentlemen, the recommendation is about to be published. Please remind me to update it more. Thank you, gentlemen.